How did a prince among the elves, known for his mastery of jewels and leadership, utter an oath so potent that it challenged Eru Iluvatar himself, dooming his race to an eternity of grief? Despite his brilliance in creating the Silmarils, the fierce pride of Fëanor, son of Finwë, led him to swear an unbreakable oath to reclaim the Silmarils from Morgoth at any cost, defying even the angelic Valar. This vow incited rebellion, kinslaying, and shattered elven unity, leaving a legacy of immense destruction. Fëanor's relentless ambition brought enduring grief to his people, shaping Middle-earth's fate for ages. Join us as we discover the tragic life of Fëanor, Middle-earth's most arrogant elf. Fëanor emerged into the world as a beacon of extraordinary potential and complex destiny. He was the eldest son of Finwë, the High King of the Noldor, and his first wife, Míriel. Fëanor's birth, however, came at a great cost. Overwhelmed by the intensity of his fiery spirit and strength, his mother became weakened beyond recovery, choosing to pass to the halls of Mandas, the realm of the dead. Her early death left a profound impact on both Finwë and Fëanor, shaping their futures in significant ways. Now that's what you call a fat baby. From his earliest years, he showed exceptional intelligence and an insatiable curiosity. His father deeply mourned the loss of his wife, but found solace in Fëanor's brilliance. Finwë's love for his son was boundless, nurturing Fëanor's growing talents. As a child, he quickly surpassed his peers in skill and knowledge, particularly in the areas of craftsmanship and language. He created the Ting War script, a sophisticated writing system that greatly enhanced elven communication and record-keeping. However, his early life wasn't without its challenges. His dad remarried, taking Indis of the Vanyar as his second wife. This union brought Fëanor half-siblings, Fingolfin, Finarfin, and their sisters, Findis and Inime. His relationship with his stepmother and half-brothers was strained, marked by jealousy and rivalry. He resented Indis and perceived her children as threats to his position and favor with Finwë. This familial discord sowed seeds of bitterness that would later bloom into significant conflicts. Despite these tensions, his talents continued to grow. He became renowned for his skills in gem cutting and metalwork, producing creations of unparalleled beauty. His most significant achievement came with the creation of the Silmarils, 3 radiant jewels that captured the light of the 2 trees of Valinor, Laurelin and Telparion. These jewels were a testament to his genius, earning him admiration and envy among the elves and the Valar. His early life, marked by brilliance and tragedy, had the groundwork for his future actions and profound impact on Middle-earth. His close bond with his father and strained dynamics with his stepfamily created a complex backdrop for his genius and ambition. This mix of exceptional talent, intense pride, and familial strife set the stage for his pivotal decisions, shaping his destiny and the fate of the entire world around him. His rise to prominence was most notably marked by his creation of the Silmarils, a feat that defined his legacy and altered the course of history in Middle-earth. His desire to create the Silmarils stemmed from his profound admiration of the 2 trees of Valinor. These trees, whose light illuminated the realm of the Valar, represented the pinnacle of beauty and purity in Arda. Fëanor, driven by a deep-seated need to preserve their unparalleled radiance, sought to capture and eternalize this light. This ambition to preserve the light of the trees wasn't merely an act of vanity, but a reflection of Fëanor's deep appreciation for beauty and his creative spirit. He wanted to ensure that even if the trees were to fade or be destroyed, their light would endure, preserved in a form that could be cherished and revered by future generations. To achieve this, he poured all of his skill, knowledge, and essence into the creation of the Silmarils. He undertook the arduous task of crafting 3 radiant jewels, forging them from the essence of the 2 trees themselves. This process was intricate and demanding, requiring not only unparalleled craftsmanship, but also a deep connection to the light of the trees. His intense focus and dedication to his task reflected his exceptional talent and his determination. The result was nothing short of miraculous. The Silmarils were 3 perfect gems, each capturing the pure, unblemished light of the 2 trees. These jewels were not just objects of beauty, they were embodiments of Fëanor's genius and his deep connection to the natural and spiritual beauty of Valinor. The Silmarils shone with an inner light that was both awe-inspiring and enchanting, setting them apart from any other creation in Middle-earth. The reaction to the Silmarils was one of awe and reverence. The Valar, the angelic beings who governed the world, were deeply impressed by Fëanor's creation, recognizing it as a symbol of his genius and creativity. Among the elves, the Silmarils were regarded as the greatest masterpieces ever made, earning Fëanor immense admiration and respect. However, this acclaim also sowed the seeds of envy and desire, foreshadowing events that would lead to unprecedented strife and tragedy in the history of the elves. His rise to prominence in the creation of the Silmarils drew the attention of Melkor, who sought to exploit the jewel's beauty and power for his own ends. Melkor, the most powerful of the fallen Ainur, had a history of destruction and deceit. He had previously destroyed the 2 lamps, the primordial sources of light in the world, plunging it into darkness and chaos. Now his malevolent gaze turned towards the Silmarils. Melkor began to sow discord among the elves, spreading lies and deceit to turn Fëanor against his kin in the Valar. His manipulations exacerbated Fëanor's existing tensions with his half-brothers, deepening the divisions within the Noldor. His schemes culminated in the darkening of Valinor. He allied with Ungoliant, a monstrous spider of immense power, and together they attacked the 2 trees of Valinor, draining them of their light and plunging the land into darkness. During the chaos, Melkor seized the opportunity to strike a devastating blow against Fëanor and the Noldor. He went to Forminos, where Fëanor had stored the Silmarils, and killed Finwë, Fëanor's father, who was guarding the stronghold. With Finwë dead, Melkor stole the Silmarils and fled to Middle-earth. In his fury and in his grief, Fëanor gave Melkor the name Morgoth, meaning dark foe. This name would forever be associated with the darkest and most evil forces of Middle-earth. The theft of the Silmarils and the murder of his father drove Fëanor into a rage. Consumed by grief and fury, he swore a terrible and unbreakable oath with his 7 sons, vowing to pursue anyone who withheld the Silmarils from them, be they mortal, elf, or god. In Tolkien's realm, oaths are treated with utmost seriousness and gravity. To swear an oath is to bind oneself irrevocably to a course of action, often with dire consequences for breaking it. The Oath of Fëanor, known as one of the most fateful and tragic vows in the history of Middle-earth, bound Fëanor and his sons to a relentless and unforgiving pursuit of the Silmarils, regardless of the cost. Be he foe or friend, be he foul or clean, brood of Morgoth or bride Valar, elder of Maya, or aftercomer, man yet unborn upon Middle-earth, neither law nor love nor league of swords, dread nor danger, not doom itself, shall defend him from Fëanor and Fëanor's kin, whose hideth or hoardeth, or in hand taketh, finding keepeth, or altar casteth. A Silmaril, this swear we all, death we will deal him, ere day's ending, woe unto world's end, our word hear thou. Iruiluvatars, to the everlasting, darkness doom us, if our deed faileth. On the holy mountain, hear and witness, and our vow remember, Manwë and Varda. Say that 5 times fast. I'll wait. Anyway, back on track. So the consequences of Fëanor's oath were far-reaching and catastrophic. This set the stage for relentless conflicts and strife, both among the elves and against Morgoth. The oath led to a series of tragic events, including kinslaying, betrayal, and endless warfare. Fëanor's unyielding determination to recover the Silmarils, driven by his oath, brought immense suffering to his people and himself, marking the beginning of a dark and tumultuous chapter in the history of the elves and Middle-earth. His fiery determination to recover the Silmarils and seek revenge on Morgoth led to one of the most important and tragic events in elven history, the flight of the Noldor. Consumed by anger and grief, he inspired many of the Noldor, including his 7 sons, to rebel against the Valar. He convinced them that their destiny lay in Middle-earth, where they could exact their vengeance and reclaim the stolen Silmarils. His impassioned speeches and charismatic leadership rallied a significant portion of the Noldor to his cause, sparking a mass exodus from Valinor. Accompanying him and his sons were a host of loyal followers, driven by their allegiance to the House of Finwë and their shared desire to divide the Valar's authority. However, not all of the Noldor were swayed by Fëanor's call. Some, led by Fingolfin and Finarfin, chose to resist the temptation of rebellion and remained in Valinor, reluctant to forsake their homeland and risk the wrath of the Valar. As they prepared to depart, Fëanor realized they needed ships to cross the sea to Middle-earth. The Noldor sought the aid of the Teleri, the sea-loving elves who possessed a great fleet. However, the Teleri refused to lend their ships for a cause that they didn't support. Undeterred and desperate, Fëanor led his followers in a violent assault on Alqualante, the haven of the Teleri, in a horrific act known as the First Kinslaying. Noldor warriors slew many of their Teleri kin, shedding elven blood in an irreparable rupture of familial bonds. The shores of Aqualante were stained with the blood of kin, marking the Noldor with the curse of strife and sorrow that would endure for ages. The screams of the slain and the wails of the bereaved echoed across the sea, a haunting reminder of the terrible price paid for the Silmarils and the depths to which Fëanor's thirst for vengeance had driven him. The moral and ethical implications of the kinslaying were profound. The Noldor had committed a heinous crime against their kin, an act that would haunt them and foreshadow their future doom. This betrayal of kinship and trust marked the beginning of their long and tragic path, filled with sorrow, division, and irreparable loss. During their harrowing exodus from Aman, Fëanor and his followers embarked on the stolen Teleri swan ships across the Sea of Beliger, their aim to swiftly reach Middle-earth. Upon arrival at Loskar, Fëanor, consumed by urgency and a burning desire to sever ties with Aman, ordered the ruthless burning of these vessels. This decisive and tragic act marked their descent into exile, casting a shadow of bitterness and betrayal over their journey. His eagerness to slight his brothers was evident in this ruthless act, which not only severed their physical link to Aman, but also exacerbated the already strained relations among the Noldor. Meanwhile, Fingolfin, grimly aware of the peril ahead, led his own host across the treacherous Helcaraxe on foot. Amidst dire conditions and relentless cold, his leadership ensured a significant portion of the Noldor survived the perilous crossing. His resolve stemmed from duty and a desperate attempt to maintain unity among the shattered Noldor amidst tragic losses. This tragic journey tested their endurance and strained relations among the Noldor. Turgon, a son of Fingolfin, suffered the heart-wrenching loss of his wife during the crossing, deepening his bitter resentment towards Fëanor for leading them into such relentless hardship and tragedy. Fëanor's unyielding thirst for vengeance clashed sharply with Fingolfin's cautious leadership deepening the chasm between the brothers. The bitter journey and the sacrifice of lives hardened divisions among the Noldor, setting a grim precedent for the strife and sorrow that would plague them in the dark days ahead. Upon their arrival in Middle-earth, Fëanor and his followers quickly fortified strongholds in strategic locations, notably in the rugged realm of Hithlum, to withstand Morgoth's relentless assaults. Despite their unified front against the Dark Lord, alliances with the Sindar and men were strained by age-old grievances and conflicting ambitions. In the pivotal Battle Under Stars, Fëanor's strategic brilliance initially brought success to the Noldor. Yet, amidst the tumultuous fray, Gothmog, Lord of the Balrogs, emerged as his ultimate adversary. In a titanic clash, Gothmog's fiery whip and merciless blade struck down Fëanor, inflicting mortal wounds upon the valiant, troubled prince of the Noldor. His sons, arriving with a host of reinforcements, fought fiercely to drive off the Balrogs and secure the battlefields. With solemn reverence, they bore their father's mortally wounded body from the charred battlefield to the slopes of Edred Wethrin. There, Fëanor gazed upon the distant peaks of Thangor-Odrin, the ominous fortress of Morgoth, and his final moments consumed by the fire of his spirit and the bitterness of his defeat. Fëanor cursed Morgoth thrice, knowing in his heart that the elves alone could not topple those dark towers. At the moment of his passing, Fëanor's fiery spirit consumed his body, leaving nothing but ashes, a fate unseen amongst the Eldar. His death marked a tragic turning point, leaving behind a legacy of unyielding determination and profound sorrow that would shape the fate of Middle-earth for ages to come. Fëanor's life blazed with unmatched brilliance and tragic fervor, from his mastery of crafts and creation of the Silmarils to his fateful oath and ultimate sacrifice in battle. His relentless pursuit of vengeance against Morgoth reshaped history, yet amidst his achievements lay the seeds of discord and sorrow among his kin and allies. As the ashes of his fiery spirit scattered upon the winds of Beleriand, one haunting question persists. How could one revered for their craft and leadership bring such calamity upon their people? Fëanor's legacy, marked by both brilliance and tragedy, continues to cast a long shadow over Middle-earth, challenging its inhabitants with the enduring consequences of pride and oath. As the ages pass, the echoes of Fëanor's choices reverberate, shaping the fate of Arda and leaving us to ponder if his fiery ambition was a blessing or a curse for all who dwell in its realms. So what's your hot take on this piece of lore? Do you think that the Teleri had it coming? Or are you on Team Fëanor did nothing wrong? Or do you believe that he reshaped Arda's history for the worse? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on the next adventure.